Thanks for coming on my show.
You're welcome, brother. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, no problem. So yeah, I was just like messing around on Instagram, and I came across the bare knuckle fighting championships, and I saw your video against was it Will Chope? Is that how you say his name?
Will choke, yes, sir.
Yeah, you fucking knocked him out in like 52 seconds, I think it was, right?
Yes, sir. 52 seconds, first round.
Dude, that's crazy. Like you got him and he went down and then he got back up and then just like 10 seconds later just fucking finished him. Like
Dude, I can't believe he got back up. Honestly, that was one of the hardest straight rights I've ever landed down the pipe. I felt his cheek because there's no gloves, so man, maybe that's why it felt like the hardest punch. But he got back up, but I
he
mean, he
did.
wasn't up. But yeah, I don't think his brain was there. He was already
No.
done at that point, and I knew I just had to go make sure he wasn't getting back up the next time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like this is the first time I've ever come across this and just fucking crazy what y'all doing there. Just no glove, it's straight bare knuckle.
Well, it's cool because as brutal as it looks, it's safe, man. I'm an MMA veteran. We worry about leg kicks, knee bars. Just all the time. These are cuts. I've had this cut here. Matter of fact, I got a medical sponsorship now. They just drew my blood the other day. They're extracting my collagen. They're gonna inject my eyes with the plasma in my blood, and they're gonna inject it so it regrows collagen, so it won't split back open, help my scars. I mean, so this is going
Okay.
to be easy, quick stuff. If we do get knocked out, man, it's not going to be a lot on our brain. Boxers take hundreds of punches because they got all that protection. We take a real good punch, man, and they're going down. So it's a lot of action for the fans. There is blood, which it makes it for any fight fan. It just makes it exciting, man. And they're bringing in some really good guys right now, some of the top talent in the world. Will Chope he's, I don't know, 12-time world champion, 119 fights, he fought Max Holloway in the main event for the UFC previously for one of his fights. Max didn't finish him till the third round
Hmm.
TKO. I think he's only been finished a total of 3 times TKO his whole career out of 119 fights.
Wow.
Now I'm fighting Tom Shoaf. This guy, I believe he's a little stronger and faster, some good boxing. He's going to be a little bit more aggressive. He's a pocket fighter, which I believe is more dangerous for him because Will had not planned on getting in the pocket. So now I got another tall guy that likes to bang, and I'm ready to do it again, man.
Hey,
Bloodbath or knockout, one or the other. We're gonna put on a show, man, and hopefully keep growing this momentum and have a lot of fans join in. Right now, it's the fastest growing combat sport in the world, and it's bare knuckle fighting. It's not bare knuckle boxing, and a lot of people don't even know the difference. But we're allowed to clinch. I can grab him by the back of the head and pound him by his face. In boxing you can't do that. I can
right.
grab his right hand or his left hand as he jabs me and throw an uppercut, or I can grab his wrist and pound him and he can't block it. So it makes it a fast action, fast pace, gnarly thing that I really, really love doing.
Yeah, and that's this Friday, right? The
Yes, sir.
11th.
Daytona Beach. It's the Daytona Beach Convention Center. If you type in Convention Center Daytona Beach, there's a Hilton hotel running a special right across the street on the ocean right there. A lot of people are coming and they're selling out. Man, I got people flying all over the country to come in and watch this. Arizona, Texas. I got family from California flying in, Arizona. I mean, people all over the world coming in. Lots of people coming in here from Georgia, my home state of Georgia right now. Man, this thing's getting big. I believe Shaquille O'Neal called David Feldman last week and asked for a VIP table. So, they got a lot of,
Really?
this is starting to really, really grow. Sooner or
Yeah.
later, 50 Cent will be popping champagne in the back. I mean, you ready? Hey, let me get a knockout, bust a bottle of Cristal on my head. I'll be good.
Right. Yeah, dude, I'm definitely looking forward to watching the fights on Friday. This will be my first time actually watching one of the events, so I'm real interested in watching them and seeing how it goes. And
This is a
yeah,
good
look,
one, man.
it
This
looks
is the
badass.
9/11 Memorial, and we actually get an honorary Purple Heart tag on our on the thing, so it means a lot. It's honoring the 9/11, September 11th, everything going on. Right, that's super cool right now too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to this fight, dude. It's awesome to be active again after all this COVID's went on. I know people are happy to see sports of any kind even back in. So this is super cool. Other than the UFC, there's really nobody even getting to do this. So I'm just happy they're letting fans in. It's going to be live this time on the BK TV app. If anybody doesn't have it, if they want to see it, go download BK TV app. It's like $3.99 a month. But they get some of the best fighters in the world. We got Hector Lombard, and we just signed Paige VanZant. That's, I believe, Paige is going to be on the November, the
Okay.
November card or October. I don't know, maybe October card. But man, I'm looking forward to the that card as well.
Yeah, that's what got me into it because I follow her on Instagram, and then I saw that she signed with a bare knuckle thing, and I was like, "What the hell is?" I was like, "What is Paige Van Zandt doing bare knuckle brawling?" And so I checked it out. And I'm like, "God damn, dude, these guys fucking bang!" I was
Yeah,
like, "What
yeah.
is this?" So definitely got a new fan out of me. So I'm looking forward to that shit.
Thank you, brother. Yeah, man. That's just, I've been doing MMA for a long time. Even when I got my knockout of Bellator, I got knockout of the year for that here in Georgia. And man, I haven't got near as much attention. It's not growing near as fast. And I honestly, I like it. I'm some people know me. I'm one of the a really powerful grappler. I went to state championships all 4 times in high school. I do no submission, no gi stuff. I've got 40 pro cage fights. Um, um, I just like the fight though, man. It got to a point now where I miss UFC somewhat. Where well, sometimes like even this last one where Usman held him down. I love UFC, but so many guys have got so talented at grappling. We almost neutralize each other out. In
Mhm.
the fight, it's becoming very neutral and very point system, and this one is gonna be too. But this also is what's cool about this and what I like is I like to fight, man. I grew up in the country, and beyond being a supreme martial artist, I fought a lot of people. We always become friends. It was a way to settle a score or respect for an old school man thing. It's very caveman, and I don't do it like that in life. I know how to shake hands and talk like a gentleman, but it's cool to be able to do that. And bare knuckle boxing is a chance for there not to be a lot of hugging. If you clinch too long, if you run, you get points deducted. So it's like you can't really back up. I mean, it's just brought back real fighting, man. It's that caveman mano and mano, but world class martial artist. But it's a
Mhm.
brawl, and you have to fight. It's not going to be
Yeah.
boring ever, I don't think. Even a boring fight, it's like boring for bare knuckle, but not boring.
I don't think I've seen any clips so far of the bare knuckle that were boring. Like you said, man, that y'all just go at it and
Dude, as soon as they pulled me in and signed me this contract, I went back and watched. Well, not only as a they call me a stalker, but I'm watching all my opponents now because I'm signed. So these guys
right.
from anywhere from possibly 155 if I get a great dietitian to 175, but 165, 175 guys have really got to watch out because I'm watching, man. And but through all that, I've also made fans, man. I'm the same guys. I might have to fight a guy I'm a fan of because just I went back and like 3, 4, 5 times in a row. I've watched every single person's fight at least that many times, sitting around the living room like it's ESPN watching the highlights over and over or something.
Hmm.
And yeah, I love it. I'm a fan of it too, man. Not just even a fighter for him. I'm a huge fan, and I love all the fights. I'm more excited about some of them bringing in some more top talented girls. That's what's cool about Paige coming in for me too, man.
Right.
It's bringing a lot of girls. She's got to fight somebody, So
Hmm.
that's gonna help them get a bigger female roster. Kind of like what Ronda did, and create some really good girl fights. Cause gosh, that's what I'm interested, man. Girls bare knuckle. Oh man,
Right.
it's gonna be
Yeah,
like,
I think everyone loves that.
yeah, this is gonna be cool.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. So will this be your second fight in bare knuckle?
Yes, sir. About my 50th
Okay.
pro fight overall. I fought pro boxing, pro Muay Thai, pro grappling. MMA is where I've got most. About 40 fights now in MMA, and but this will be 2-0 when it goes my way on September 11th versus
All right.
Tom Shoaf.
All right. Yeah, definitely looking forward to it. So So we'll get into a little bit. So where are you from? Where were you born? Where were you raised, and all that?
Uh, I was born in a country town right outside of Memphis, Tennessee,
Oh,
Dyersburg. But I kind of moved everywhere. I was a military brat. My dad was a Navy recruiter, and so I lived in Norfolk, Virginia, where my brother was born, traveling along. But we always wound up back in the country. Uh, um, yeah, man, I grew up doing martial arts, boxing, gymnastics as a kid. Uh, Living that country life. I was a farmer too, man. I've always been an athlete. I think because of that, my papa and my grandma. Whenever I was a kid, I remember 5 years old, I got a Troy bit tiller for my birthday. Well, that's what my papa said. It was really his tiller, but I didn't want him to get rid of the old one, so he said he bought me this one for my birthday. And I remember being out there, dude, 5 years old, running that thing, and it wasn't an auto
mhm.
drive. You know anything about those old front
Yeah,
tillers? You had to dig them in.
right.
It wasn't nothing but a bar. You changed the level of dirt in the back, and so yeah, man, I grew up pretty simple like that. And I still remember my grandma getting milk delivered to the house. Now I'm a city boy. I live right outside Atlanta,
All right.
Georgia, with my wife. It's a whole nother life now. Still got a little of the country left in my tone, but that's
I
about
was
it.
gonna say I can hear the country twang in there.
Yeah, man, I'm still deer hunting, still fishing. Every time I go back home, it gets a little worse.
Right. I'm actually from Tennessee too. I was born and raised in Tennessee.
Yeah, I see the Titan hat
Yeah,
on you.
Titans hat, but I'm from the Smoky Mountains area, Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg.
Okay, yeah, I got
So
family
I'm
in
I'm East
Nashville,
Tennessee.
a little closer to you anyway. Not quite. I was far west. We was right on the
Right.
Mississippi River, man, right on the farm, the
Okay.
floodlands.
Yep. All right. So now you said you live in Atlanta, Georgia now?
Well, yeah, a little north of Atlanta, right in the suburbs, right outside Atlanta. But I train all over Atlanta.
Okay. Did you move to Georgia to train?
Yes. Okay. So in Tennessee, back when I left, oh gosh, 15 years ago, I'm horrible with time now. You'd think I get hit in the head for a living or something, but probably 15, 16 years ago. And I was down in Panama City, Florida. I started fighting and training with Ultimate Boxing down there with Rob Dickerson and a lot of guys. Team Sexy Assassins. What's up, guys? We're still sexy. That was where I started. Where I left, I went. There's a Fat Lip MMA, a lady named Terry Hillman. They told me to call somebody named Terry. They were looking for somebody to fight a main event. I was not expecting this woman to answer the phone, going, "Hey, this is Terry. I'm the MMA owner promoter." So it was anyway. I talked to her. I was 3-0 at the time. I believe all first round finishes. I went 10-0 over the first year, no rules. They called it amateur, but it was no rules. They paid us to come. It was just no unsanctioned underground fighting is really what I call it. But anyway, MMA, Fat Lip. I moved to Montgomery, Alabama. Stayed there. Went 7-0. I was the 170, 155. I fought 185 champion. I left there, moved to Atlanta, Georgia from there because the pro circuit actually, shout out to Dave Oblaz. He owns NFC now. It used to be back at Wild Bill's. I fought Diego Saraiva right after he left the UFC. I think he fought
Okay.
Vincent Henderson in the WEC. That's kind of where I got my
Mm-hmm.
big name. I knocked out John Cofer right before he went to the UFC. And then I fought Diego Saraiva. I 10-8 round him, I think, the first 2 rounds, and he armbarred me in the third. But at that time, I was a white belt in jiu-jitsu. But from there, man, I've been fighting, training in Atlanta, Georgia with some of the best in the world. Last 10, 12 years now, X3 Sports, Gracie Baja. I cross-train with Knuckle Up. I go to American Top Team and train with the Lima brothers. I mean, I've got a lot of,
Okay.
I mean, it's random for me. I'm good friends, and I don't have a lot of drama. You know, Atlanta supports each other. So unless we have a rule, you can come to the gym for open mats and hang out as long as you're not fighting somebody within 30 days of the contract. So we all try to work together because it's about being the best in the world, not the best in Georgia. You know, we have some
Right.
of the best in the world, so it's not good enough just to train with our training partners sometimes here. That's another reason I love living in Atlanta, man.
Yeah.
Very open to martial arts of all kinds.
All right. So what all do you train in? Jiu-jitsu, like I know you
I've
said you
trained
do
Hapkido,
jiu-jitsu.
a little Krav Maga, Kali, weapons disarming. I focus on kickboxing. I got a black belt in Taekwondo from Buddy Colburn in Tennessee in 1996, I believe, 95, 96. I was 14. Um, Boxing, man, I did boxing forever. I was gold gloves back in like 2001 or something, 2002. Um, Now everything, I teach boxing, I teach jiu-jitsu, I'm a submission artist. I've been focusing on the new style because this is a whole new sport. Like I said, bare knuckle fighting is there's so many new rule sets,
Mm-hmm.
but it incorporates plum clinches from Muay Thai. So lately I've been pulling in other training partners and things that I've seen, and since I've got signed with them for the past like 90 days, and I've kind of tweaked, my biggest idol, Bruce Lee. He said, do not be the glass, be the water.
Mm-hmm.
Any water can fit in any glass, but not any glass can hold any water. There's a certain limit to it. But if you're the water and you can learn to flow, and that's what I'm doing. I pull in all these different people and I try to create my style. So now that's where my focus is. But I'm 4-stripe purple belt. I've been training for 20 years. I just I stay in no-gi a whole lot, and I wind up teaching. So I still want to get my black belt there. I'm never going to give up on that. I will be a professor in jiu-jitsu at one point. And,
Okay.
eventually just teach jiu-jitsu, teach boxing, teach Muay Thai, a little of everything, teach the MMA, teach bare knuckle boxing. I'm going to continue to coach at X3 Sports, or maybe open my own gym one day, or open my own X3. Just continue the journey, man.
That's awesome. So yeah. So you said you fought in Bellator for a minute. How many fights in Bellator did you have?
Just one fight in
Just the
Bellator.
one?
2013, got a knockout against Jared Burke. He was the striking coach at Hardcore for Roy Singer at the time.
Okay. And you said you knocked him out?
Oh yeah, knocked him out. I got knockout of the year here in Georgia for that.
Oh wow.
That was a
So
pretty brutal knockout, man. If you go
was
look it up,
it?
it's on YouTube actually. Joe Elmore Bellator, Joe Elmore KO. There's a couple highlights of that one on online if y'all want to check it out. A lot of my stuff on YouTube. Even I leave up my stuff even when I'm on training camp because I don't think people can train for me. If you go have a wild style, man, I fight southpaw, orthodox. I'm a better grappler than I am a striker, but I'm like Justin Gaethje. He's a better grappler than a
Mm-hmm.
striker. But if you ever seen him take anybody down, I don't think so. Because the also wrestler, I got that wrestling power too. So that Dan Henderson right and that Chuck Liddell. I call it my lefty, the Liddell, and instead of the H bomb, the J bomb. So I got the lefty
Nice.
Liddell and the J bomb right here.
Those are two good weapons to have.
Yes, they
But
are, man.
so was wrestling what first got you into fighting? Did you start out wrestling?
No, Taekwondo. I had
Okay.
100 I started, man, my sensei at like 13 years old started making me take adult classes because I was knocking the kids out in point fights and stuff. So, I mean, I've always just been, extreme ADHD. And sometimes, like when I lost my mind, it was a maniac. Oh, stay down. People don't understand. I was emotional. I stem sometimes just from how much energy I have from that extreme ADHD.
Mm-hmm.
I twitch. If y'all see, I move a lot, and when I'm in there, I get overexcited, and it's uh, it's fun to be able to get that energy out and share some of that energy with the fans, and yeah, man. I look forward to doing it again here soon. I get so excited when the fight week comes up.
Right. Definitely get all your butterflies start coming in.
Oh
Just
yeah, that's how
feeling it.
that's how we lose that weight. That metabolism kicks in and cuts that extra
Right.
20 pounds real quick.
Right.
But I don't get nervous. Well, I guess I do. My nervous is excitement. I have
Yeah.
my adrenaline builds up. I more gotta like chi and like center it so it doesn't waste before I get there because we're looking forward to the moment. Whether I win or lose, I'm a happy winner, happy loser, dude. If I put on a great show and I have people that love the fight and they talk about it forever, honestly, I came into it more to be like what I love about fighters in moments is like the Nightmare Sanchez, the way he fights, the way Chris Leben used to fight. I was telling Liddell in the interview, Chris Liddell, guys that go out there to fight and bang and just destroy each other. One of my favorite fights of all time is Forrest Griffin, Stephen Bonner, the Ultimate Fighter. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
like if you're on if you have if I have a knockout or if I have a fight like that or Jason Knight. Have you seen the Jason Knight low ball fight for bare knuckle fighting championships yet?
I don't
Go
think I've
back
seen
and
that
watch
one
the
yet.
Jason Knight. That's the Jason Knight and low ball fight, man. I think that kind of hit him on the map a little bit. It's what really made me start paying attention. Like, dang, man, I got to do this. This is my type fighting. Because win or lose, I think both of them, they went two different ways. But man, those were some good ass fights, and they're the kind that you'll never forget. And they plus they get you paid eventually.
Right. Yeah, I'll definitely have to check it out. So, with the fight coming up, what do you do to prepare? What do you do to train, and what's your like training regimen and all that? Getting ready for a fight.
I got a medical sponsorship from Nivea Health in Woodstock. They every morning, 3 days a week, I go up there for either IVs or PEMF therapy. It's electromagnetic therapy. It's what they use on astronauts when they go to outer space and they come back and their bone density and their muscle densities drop down from the zero gravity. They put this machine on them. It helps them heal faster. So I've got a therapist that puts me through that because I'm doing 2 a days. I'll leave there and I'll go train an hour and a half with Manu. Manu's a 6-time world champion, fought Duke Rufus. I paid him for a little camp, or I got my sponsors did. I have some sponsors that are helping me to pay to train full time now, along with BKFC. I'm full time fighting, not having to teach others at the gym, so I can focus on being the world champion for them. I go at night to X3 Sports, which is my home gym, where I've taught at forever. I have boxing coaches. I got Coach Aladino there. He was an Olympic boxing coach, I believe, silver medalist as well for Cuba. We brought him here with Coach Isidoro and go train with them. I'll go to Monday and Wednesday. There's some guys that knuckle up. Warren Thompson, he's one of the trainers up there. He was a glory fighter. He invited a lot of the pros. We call it come spar night. If you have something to add, you can come. There'll be 10, 15 different gyms, 30, 40 guys from 125s all the way to ultra heavyweights up there sparring, boxing. If you're a boxer, you box. If you're a kickboxer, you kickbox. If you're MMA, if you want to swap between them all, so I mean, I'm still training full-time stuff like that too. I've got a couple guys I bring in specifically once a day that are tall or have a similar style to the guy I find because I know a lot of pro boxers here too. So I've brought some pro boxers in and I'll train with them and see what we can do and tear each other's heads up with, I call it pillow fighting now because we go in there with our boxing gloves and our headgears. It feels like we're pillow fighting. Man, it's
Right.
another good thing. When I get done, I've noticed when I train with my boxing gloves now, and I take those things off, it's like going to the roller skating rink. And when you get done roller skating and you take them off and your feet are like Clydesdales and they lift 10 feet in the air, you don't mean to step so high. Man, my punches have been getting faster. So I've been working on my hand speed, toughening and conditioning my hands too. That's another thing.
Mm-hmm.
BKFC, there's a surprise video that they flew the production team in here. I don't know when they're going to release it. I can't really say nothing. They just said I could say that they filmed it. It's a little 1 or 2 minute highlight video about me that they're going to release, and I showed how I condition my hands punching a brick wall every day. So I got prep myself in any and every single possible way. Uh, like I said, I go out to nature to get my mind because it's not just my physical. I've watched my diet lately. I've got doctors monitoring my blood work every week just to make sure my level's correct. But I
Mm-hmm.
also have to get a little bit of nature, man. There's some beautiful mountains here in Georgia. The Appalachian Trail starts here. I'll go up to
Mm-hmm.
the Appalachian Trail and I'll run literally with a tree branch on my shoulder sometimes or something just to get away and that Rocky moment. I can hear dun 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 dun, dun in the back of my
Right.
head, ready to go fight the Russian and avenge Apollo and get my head right and the waterfalls and the creeks. So I mean, I just a little bit of everything. Now that I'm blessed to train full time, whatever mind, body, and soul needs to get the energy to be able to go to battle and prepare. I do that all day long, one place or another. Y'all can follow my journey too. So anybody that's on listening to this, it's I've got it as my name at Joe Hitman 187 on IG. I like to share a lot of my stuff. Y'all see me having mats on the mountains. Y'all will see me being at this gym or that gym with my different training partners, my different coaches. I like to share a lot so people can get to know me outside the cage too. So they check that out and see what's up with who I am too. So
All right, yeah, I'll definitely throw that in the bio for the episode so people can check it out as well. But yeah, another question I wanted to ask you is like, how how was it adjusting to like fighting with like gloves and shit, and then going to like just bare knuckle?
I've never used a mouthpiece in a training session my whole life. I've kind of been a what do they call it? The Hoosier hillbilly. My family's always been fighting, man.
Okay.
I like to fight, dude. Me and growing up where I grew up in Tennessee, I remember a couple of my friends, we had a video camera, the old camcorder, and we would record the fights. We'd charge $5, $10 to get in the backyard. And sometimes we'd have a keg of beer and charge for the cup, and you'd get in the backyard with a cup, and we'd have 5 or 6 people. A guy from Dyersburg would want to fight the guy from Dyer County, or this guy from this place and that place and this town, and this football team guy was dating this dude's girlfriend. And we'd find all the fights. We wouldn't let them fight. It's kind of, remember, I think there's a thing on YouTube called Street Beefs, and it was
Mm-hmm.
before we had phones and stuff, and it was really kind of like a street beefs. It wasn't so gang, but we would be like, hey man, guy don't like that guy. But man, all right, Friday, it's cool. We can go out to the farm. Nobody's going to call the cops. We're going to fight. And when it's over, it's over. We had rules. We pulled them off. We'd drop the flag. We'd let them fight. And we'd record it. And we'd sell the videos. And I mean, I grew up like that. So me taking the gloves off was how I started. And then I
Okay.
actually started putting the gloves on. And then now we're taking the gloves back off. So it's fun, man. I like it. I think it's gonna give me as what I'm a creature that was supposed to be born to protect my village and my family. I feel like some guys, we have to, I don't want to be a superhero to be like cool or nothing like that. I literally like to save people that are weaker, or I like to protect my family. It makes me feel good as a man to do that for my family, my wife. And
Mm-hmm.
fighting is like an ancient, like a ancient passage, and so this brings that back for me. And there's not a lot of guys that are made for it. You have guys that are born fighters, I always say this, and then you have trained martial artists. You cannot train someone to be a fighter. You have to
Right.
be born to. I couldn't. You don't want me doing heart surgery, so don't let me say anybody can't learn to fight. Anybody can learn to fight. But when you get in there with me, I'm a fighter. It's
Right.
way different. You can't steal my soul. My facing God in that
There we
ring.
go.
So yeah, and I think a lot of guys don't have that. They might be real good and real talented, but it's not a bag in there. There's no gloves, and it's had something a little different, I guess. I don't know.
Right. No, I get it. So but yeah, so if the UFC ever came knocking, you think you'd take them up? Do you
if it
have
didn't
any?
if it didn't interfere with what I got going on with BKFC right now,
Mm-hmm.
if the money is right, I'm a full-time combat sportsman. I submit black belts in no-gi submission all the time. I know a lot of sambo, world-class leg locks. So yeah, of course, man. I love combat sports. If they called me to fight Glory Kickboxing right now, I'd go fight a Glory Kickboxing if the money were right and it did not interfere with BKFC. I do want to tell you though, I love this. I think this is my new home. If things keep working out, I plan on being the BKFC 165 world champion. They're paying me really nice. It's going to definitely get better when I show them that I am the man, that they've invested already what they've invested. And if
Mm-hmm.
I win this fight, they let me call out who I'm going to call out. I'm not going to say it no more because I want to win this fight, and then we'll make it an official call out. But I already have a top name, a former UFC fighter. Then I'm going to call out for 165. They've promised to renegotiate my contract. And if all that sets, man, I can't say I won't. But man, I mean, it's going to
Right.
be hard to get me to quit.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, yeah, that's man. I gotta say though, once I came across it and shit like that, dude, I was pretty hooked on the bare knuckle
Well, what do you
fighting.
think? I always ask everybody. Everybody asks me. I've never even asked somebody I've done a podcast. What do you think, man? What do you like? If you were gonna watch a UFC fight today or watch a bare knuckle fighting fight, they come on at the same time. Which one are you watching?
Oh, I guess it would depend on who's fighting. like how big of a UFC event it is. But if it
I
was just like a
thought
normal UFC,
McGregor was gonna fight Floyd Mayweather in MMA or bare knuckle boxing, and you had to choose between that fight for which one. What would you pick, UFC or bare knuckle boxing?
probably the bare knuckle boxing of that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. I'm like, in my head right now, UFC's super popular. But if you
Mm-hmm.
can take the same fighters, and that's what they're doing, some of the popularity, and they're putting it here. Once you take that popularity and you let them see, oh my God, people just don't know what it is. You remember before
Right.
Kid Slice came to UFC, there's people like, what is UFC? They didn't even know UFC was MMA, or they just called MMA UFC, or
Right.
I think it's bare knuckles' turn for people to watch it. Please watch it. I
I
love
think
it.
I think it's y'all's time too, man. I think it's gonna take off. Just like I said, like I think if once someone actually just like sits down and watches one of the fights, they're gonna be hooked
Yeah,
because
watch
that
all of them
shit is
too, man.
crazy.
Even the smaller names that y'all don't know, everybody get on and you've got to watch, man. Those are some of the hungriest guys out there. I
Mm-hmm.
think I was a 300 or 350 underdog just because my MMA record. Even he called one of my coaches. A guy he's friends with, Daniel Gray, Will Choke. He called him and was like, "Man, I'm gonna whip his ass, dude. This guy doesn't know what he's got into." And I'm like, "Man, you have no idea. This is a whole nother thing. Check them out because it's fighters and."
Right.
The little names are some of the best fights I found out myself. I'm saying
Mm-hmm.
from personal experience. I watched 10 today.
Right. I feel like those smaller guys put more heart into it.
Yeah, man.
You
The
know.
difference between pro football and college football. Same thing, man. They're fighting. Some of them have the contract. They're like, oh, yay, we're here. And then you got those guys like, I want to be in the BKFC, and that's what they're fighting for.
Right. All right, man. Before I let you go, I gotta ask where you got the nickname Hitman from.
I started out and I didn't have a nickname, but I was gonna go by Joe the Animal Elmore, and that was what I was gonna name myself because they just said my friends would say, "Man, he's an animal." Anybody that would describe me, so I was like, might as well just call me the Animal because I got to the first fight, didn't have my name. Well, when I got done, the guy that I fought for, it was called not UFC but UCF. Sammy Conwood. He'll be in my corner. He was in there last time. Big Sammy from
Mm-hmm.
South Florida. I went down there and fought for him. I fought 55 most of my career. 170 as an amateur because I didn't want to cut weight. But this particular fight, I took at 185. Walking around at 185 against a guy that was about 6'1", 205. He was 11-0 at the time. It was his last fight. He was going to turn pro. Nobody would take a fight with him. So they asked me to take a fight with him, and I was a stubborn, hard-headed dude back then, and I was like, sure. So I took the fight against him. My coach literally, he grabbed me by the face before I walked in there, and he smacked me upside the face, and he headbutted me a little bit to the point it dazed me. He said, "This dude's probably gonna whip your ass, but it ain't gonna be the first time to go out there and make us proud." And I was like, "What just happened?" Like. So I walked in there and I hit the guy. He hit me, and I remember him. I kind of remember. I remember just us bang bang and feeling punches come off me. And they said that I don't remember my knee hitting the ground, but apparently he dropped me and my knee hit the ground. And they said when my
Mm-hmm.
knee hit the ground, I guess in my head, my body went, "Wake up!" And I just come off that floor like a rocket. Bow! Just like I did Will Choke, and I dropped him. And I wound up getting on top of him and throwing 3 or 4 more punches and getting tackled off. And I didn't even know I won. I was like, "What happened? Did I lose?" They're like, "You just knocked him out." I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, I won then. All right." Oh, and I climbed on top of the cage. And that dude said, "Man, you're not an animal. You're a hitman. You wasn't supposed to do that. You're the hitman." And it was just like, I remember that moment. I got fight of the night for him. And at the bar, people were going, "Hitman, hitman." So I've been the hitman ever since. And it just kind of stuck.
Yeah, I definitely like the name the Hitman. It's definitely a cool nickname, man. And yeah, dude, I'm super excited to watch you fight on Friday. I'm definitely gonna watch it. Look forward to more fights. You definitely got a fan in me, especially us
Thank,
both being Tennessee boys.
thank you.
Got to stick together. And Yeah, maybe I can make it down to Atlanta sometime and train with you and something.
Absolutely,
Just
absolutely. I got 5 or 6 gyms. If you're ever in the area, definitely hit me up, man. I'll make a special stop up there.
all right, sounds good. And if you guys are, because I live in Michigan now, so if you guys ever put on a show in Michigan,
Oh, dude,
I'll
I have
make.
come up to Michigan. I fought for WXC up there for Mike Pendelli. I've got some family in Detroit, Lansing. I come up there quite often.
Okay, yeah, I live right outside of Flint. I live about 20 minutes south of Flint.
Okay, I know where you're at. Yeah, man, definitely. And thank you for having me on, by the way. I
No
really
problem.
enjoyed it. Shout out to all my sponsors, all my coaches, all my fans, all my friends, everybody. Thank y'all so much.
All right, and everybody check them out this Friday. Watch them knock out this fool and help them become champion.
Awesome. Thank y'all.
All right, man. Thanks
Later,
for
bro.
coming on.
Yes,
Have a good
sir.
night.
Have a good night.